All right, everybody, this will be a warning to all politicians. I'm running for president 2024, part 84 E, I guess it will be. So, going over some of the things dealing with COVID, coronavirus, etc. Like I said, I'm not saying not to take it serious. No, I don't think it's all a hoax, but I think a lot of the information and data is skewed and people are playing politics with it. One of the things that does not make sense to me, they keep talking about people who are more susceptible, this and that, to it, being elderly and people with pre-existing conditions, etc. Now they're coming out and I guess trying to push a narrative. No, that's not true. It can be anybody, whatever, because they don't want kids to go back to school, whatever it is. I think a lot of the data is being skewed, but one of the things that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, when this first started, oh my God, Tom Hanks got coronavirus. He's recouping. Oh, such and such celebrity got it. Oh my goodness, such and such athlete got it. Oh my goodness, just on the news constantly and everything, and all these people and these late night talk show people and everything. We got to listen to how hard it is for them to hold up into their, fancy homes and apartments and this and that and everything. How hard it is for them and how hard it's on the industry they're in and all this stuff and everything. And they claim to be the bleeding hearts for everybody, for the disadvantaged, the social justice warriors, etc. and everything. Now, it seems to me, if you look through history, usually diseases, plagues, this and that, always hit the bottom rungs of society seemingly first. If anybody's going to be susceptible because of the squalor they live in, all these homeless camps, you would think these people would be dropping like flies because they live on top of each other. They're not social distancing. A lot of them are drug users. They're sharing drugs, etc. Very unclean, unhealthy conditions. They're out in the elements. They've been out in the elements, in January, February, this and that. And that's, you're going to get a flu, that stuff going on. You still see these people standing on corners begging for money and stuff. And you still see these encampments. You don't see dozens of ambulances showing up at these encampments where there's, all these people living in the squalor. Living in garbage, basically, in their own feces and stuff. So there's something that does not make sense. And what doesn't make sense is all these bleeding hearts and everything, they're fine sitting in their apartments and their homes and their mansions, telling you how hard they have it and everything like this, while they claim to be, for the poor and this and that, and Trump's dividing the country because he's for the rich and he's a racist and this and that. Why aren't your asses out at those homeless camps? Those people are at the bottom rungs of society, and they're all over the place. Whether they're in RVs or in the garbage-type looking camps or tents in LA, San Francisco, you pick a city, they're there. Seattle, Portland, Phoenix, under the overpasses. It seems to me if this was a national health crisis, there would be a lot of attention of people going, hey, look, if this thing can spread that easily, and we have all these homeless camps and stuff, and these people get infected, we'll never get rid of this virus because these people are transient. They're going around. They're not washing their hands. They're not covering their faces. They're going to the bathroom here and there. They're gonna spread. It seems to me that would be a major concern. And you would have emergency services people going out saying, hey, look, we don't want to, but we got to break up these camps. We got to get you people off the street and quarantine you. Something. You would think you would see. I have not seen any stories where, we're on site here, Channel 5, this encampment down here. There's been 10 deaths because of coronavirus. Dozens of people are sick. We need more ICU beds. We need ventilators. It's a catastrophe down here. These people are, in very bad shape. They're dropping like flies. Don't you think that you would see more of that? So there's something kind of hinky with a lot of the information and the data that we're being given, and who it affects and why it affects them and so on. And just, from the get-go, if you watch there's a Joe Rogan plays a clip of the press secretary slam dunking a news reporter who, because at first the left was all, oh, Trump's overreacting. There's no danger. They were all like, hey, no danger, this and that. Well, he's overreacting. They're going too far, etc. Then all of a sudden, oh no, he's not doing enough. Look, people are dying all over the place. Blah, blah, blah. So they've been playing politics with it, and the news media, and maybe even physicians and scientists, unfortunately, are also playing politics with it. There just should be some things that are off the table when it comes to disinformation and playing politics with stuff. No, this is too serious. You're not gonna play games with this. We all got to be on the same side facing something like this. Something like this should bring us all together to, hey, we're gonna pull it all together and help each other. And remember, in the beginning, everybody was. We're all gonna pull together. You had the food banks and this and that and everything, and then after George Floyd gets shot, all that shit went to hell. Now it's protests and burning down shit in the streets. Everything's taking a backseat to peaceful protesters, looting, rioting, this stuff. Politicians not doing their jobs on that, playing politics with that shit too. So, if you ask me, the left, the Democrats, get an F for their coronavirus handling, and they also get an F for their handling of the rioters and protesters and stuff like that. Bad grades all the way around. Because you're trying to play politics with stuff to bolster yourselves, and all it has done is come back onto you. And you're looking like fools to the rest of America. Do you understand this? Or are you so self-absorbed and you just travel in your little tiny circles that you can't even comprehend that the rest of the country is looking at you going, you stupid motherfuckers. Look what you're doing to these cities. And look what you're doing with the health crisis in this country. Have you no shame? And the news media that's going along with them. CNN, others, hey, when Bush was president and the phony WMD weapons of mass destruction and all that shit and everything, the right was right there just as phony and shameful. Should have been ashamed of what they did with the lies and the propaganda. And that's some of the points I've tried to make through all these videos. People laugh. Trump says fake news. I'm not saying his administration has never put any out. Don't know. I haven't followed things that close on everything that, he's said or done or anything like that. But it should be apparent to everybody in this country. You go back to, Bush Sr., the Clintons, Bush Jr., Obama, all kinds of things, all phony types of stories and stuff and things happening. Some people, well, you're a conspiracy theorist, that's all. No, I think there's pretty much evidence to prove that it doesn't matter which party it is, they lie to us. So, is there something more serious they haven't told us? Is coronavirus caused by what they say it is? Has there been something else? Something else happened? Is the whole story even from this virus coming from bats in China? Bullshit. Some radiation or some toxin escaped from somewhere. How much do they know? Is it going to be over? Is there going to be a vaccine? Or are they just stalling because they know it's going to get worse? And they're gonna worry about their own hides. Maybe that's why they're not out trying to save any of the homeless people, because they know they're goners anyway. I don't know. I'm asking questions here. And oh my God, I had a cough. I cleared my throat. How many of you out there have had a sneeze or a cough here or there and start thinking, oh shit, am I getting this stuff? I woke up the other morning not feeling so good, and I've been smoking heavier and been in a lot of humidity, hot and humid stuff, and running the air conditioner all the time. Even when I'm home in Arizona, being there and having to be in the air conditioning all the time, I'm sure many people are like me. You end up getting stuffy and congested and stuff like that. And especially, if you smoke cigarettes and stuff, things like that. And then coming to a climate where there's a lot of humidity, you can kind of feel congested, this or whatever. So I took a couple Tylenol cold and flu, and, within a couple hours I felt better. I mean, I didn't really even feel that sick. I wasn't coughing, sneezing, didn't have, fever. I just felt blah, and congested. And it was like, you know what? And the first thing going through my mind was, oh man, I hope I'm not getting this shit. I still hope I don't ever get this shit. And if I do, I hope it's mild. But the anxiety, I don't know about for most drivers out here, but I pretty much stayed out here on the road since the start of all this stuff. And at times the anxiety and the fear of getting it have been unbelievable, especially in the beginning, January, February, March, and being up on the East Coast, and everyone's dying. If you get it, you're going to die. And I think they've caused people to go into shock. People who get sick and stuff, all of a sudden they get this impending sense of doom that they're going to die. And I think that has an effect on your physiology and your body. Oh my God, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And they won't tell you you're going to be all right. Is what some people who said they've been in hospitals, no one will tell you, it's okay, you're going to be okay. And they're finding out that a lot of these respirators have blown people's lungs out because they didn't understand what was going on in these people's lungs, with their lungs being kind of like calcified, and then the little pockets where there was good lung tissue, they were pumping too much oxygen in there, and the lungs couldn't handle it, and kind of like blew out. So that's why a lot of people who get put on ventilators might not be because they were so bad with it that they couldn't rebound without the ventilators. They might not have needed the ventilators, and it was the ventilator itself that did them in. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that has to be looked at, investigated, and get to the truth. And do you think if there was a whole bunch of malpractice with them just dragging people in and throwing them on ventilators, with not understanding what the hell was going on and stuff, and just put them on a ventilator and killing people, do you think those malpractice suits will come to light? Or even people will even have the information to know they could bring malpractice or something? I don't think so. I think they're going to stick to their stories. That's our story, I'm sticking to it. You have a hard time proving anything. So, but it just doesn't make sense to me. We hear about all these deaths and stuff, and yet still, through this whole time, hey, the peaceful protesters go out without masks and they mingle, and they're not worried about that. They're not worried about these homeless people living on top of each other in squalor, not social distancing, not washing their face and hands, not wearing masks, etc. They're not out there checking on them. I have never seen not one single story where the people from the cities and the news people have gone out to these camps to hey, we want to see what's going, how many people are sick out here, etc. I mean, really, you go to those camps and everything, if this stuff is as bad and contagious as it is and everything, you better be going out to them camps in a biosuit, man. Because they're squalor to begin with. You're talking feces and everything else, and God knows what is out there. So, some of those things, they just don't make sense to me. They want to make everybody be in this absolute fear. The only people aren't in fear are them people in those homeless camps, because they ain't got no TVs and radios and, phones and all this and everything, and no one's telling them, you better look out, homeless person, you're at high risk. No one's going around freaking them out. But if you're Joe Blow, middle American, you turn the TV on and shit, holy crap, I gotta be careful, man. This stuff can kill me. And I don't want to make light of it. I'm sure it is deadly for some people, but I don't think they have a grip on it. I mean, and you still hear, pre-existing conditions, you'll hear them talk about diabetes. You'll hear them talk about, people who smoke. You'll hear them talk about, heart conditions, this and that, any other conditions you have, etc., etc., etc. You'll never, it's taboo. You can't say people who are HIV. That might be the leading pre-existing condition. Your immune system can't fight it off. That's the taboo one. Don't tell them it's mostly HIV people dying. I don't know if it is, but it seems to me, if this is so strong, it's something our immune systems can't fight off, those would be the first people to go, not healthy people with strong immune systems. So, I'm not hearing any of that. I'm hearing diabetics, people, heart conditions, etc., everything under the sun. People with migraines, pre-existing condition. Stubbed your big toe. Oh, he died. They had cases where people died in car accidents in California, and they tested. They had the virus. They didn't mark their deaths down due to the accident. They marked their deaths down due to the virus. So you're getting inflated virus numbers. Hey, let's up the body count, just like Vietnam. I think as Americans, no matter what side we're on, we all need to band together and say, you know what? We're tired of all the lies and the politics and everything. We're tired of the news media not being sure. We're tired of lying doctors. We're tired of, they just put any quack on the TV they can find as an expert. No matter what it is, they've always got an expert. Always got an, let's ask so-and-so of the previous administration or the two administrations ago, or, this so-and-so, whoever. They've all got their experts on both sides of the coin. Always. Hey, who can we get to come speak on this? Call up so-and-so. He's on standby for just such a cause. So, you get all these people, experts, you tell you, oh, this Dr. So-and-so expert, whatever it is, the guy doesn't have a clue. He hasn't practiced medicine in years. He hasn't looked in a microscope in years. He doesn't have a clue. He's not privy to the information of the CDC or what's the World Health, any of the information, the data they got. He's going by other stories he's seen in the news. He's just repeating. Somebody wrote something in a journal, in a medical journal, or at some university or something, who also didn't study the virus, has no clue, is not privy to a lot of the data that there is on it, and is just going by hearsay. But they're an expert now. Now they're going to tell you to be scared as shit. And the other side's going to tell you, psh, you got no, there ain't no worries. There ain't no worries. So I think it's just a rotten day in America when you have to be so skeptical, excuse me, it's late, of everything in the news that you might as well just not even watch any of it. On either side, throw your hands up and say, I don't care no more. I don't, what? Who's running for? I don't care. I'm not going to vote anymore. I'm not going to do anything. Screw y'all. I'm gonna follow this middle path and be in the world but not of the world, and the hell with everything that comes down the pike that people tell me is worth my interest and worth my support and cause. It's this war, it's that war, it's this ideology, it's this religion, it's this and that, and you know what? You all have fun with that. Whatever it is, whatever you're selling, whatever you want me to buy into, y'all have fun with that. I'm not buying into any of it. So I don't know. You got the answers out there? What are the answers? We can think we're right as rain in the things we support and this and that in our moment in history and time and everything like that, and everything we think is so important 20, 50, 100 years from now, you gotta say it doesn't matter, because everything's dust anyway. Oh, maybe there's some historian at a university somewhere that can still pull up great speeches, a Caesar made, or so-and-so, or so-and-so's writing from way back, well, how grand that was, or some piece of music, but eventually that'll all fade too. There's civilizations and great scholars and great men that we've never heard of, who in their time, everything they did was so important, this and that. And people had to rally, and they worked and they fought so hard for this and that and everything else and everything. And then they died. Next generation came along, so now we're doing something totally different. Sorry about all that effort you people expended your whole lives on. So it's folly, isn't that what it says? All our... Well, I know a lot of it says, Scripture says all our works are like filthy rags and this and that, but isn't there something that talks about all our endeavors are folly? This isn't the permanent life. This is temporal. Everything here is temporal. It's good for a little bit, and in the grand scheme of things, and how old the universe is, and how long the universe will go on, and what eternity is, and everything like that, these grand, that's it. Not even even though it took 100, 200, 1,000 years for the empire to be built and go on and all this and all the might and everything and the wealth of it and everything like this, in the grand scheme of things, it's not even do you understand that? It's nothing. And I think that's why all the religions teach not to put so much emphasis into this life as far as obtaining wealth and trying to build empire and this and that and everything like that, that we should do the things, focus on the next life and stuff. And it's like in the Quran, it says, the only thing you take with you out of this world are your deeds. Is your record, your deeds. That's it. And it says the same thing in the Bible when the books are open. Your deeds. It's the only thing that goes with you. Good or bad. You might think, well, that means that, building our society and our empire and this was a good thing, because that's going to show on our record. Not necessarily. You know, you might have been a great and powerful man and everything, but God might be looking at things in your record you never even thought about. Oh, you're a great and powerful man. Okay, how many people did you help? How many did you feed? How many hospitals did you build? How many, whatever it is. How many people did you teach how to take care of themselves? And not to expect other people to work like slaves and pay taxes to pay for funding, for welfare, for people who are totally irresponsible with their lives. Because that's what it eventually comes down to. I mean, if you're going to have all kinds of freeloaders and all kinds of people collecting all kinds of social money and this and that, and then you're going to have a working class that's busting their asses just trying to stay afloat and not become homeless, pay their bills, have a roof over their kids' house, and you're going to tax the shit out of them to give it to other people who get high, who drink, who do whatever, who run around and make babies they could give a damn about, who commit crimes and this and that. And, so all the honest, hard-working people who take care and provide for their families and stuff, you're going to make slaves out of them to take care of all the malcontents and douchebags. Like I said, I believe most Americans are charitable and they care about their fellow human beings, but I believe they also don't believe in taking care or being used by people who don't have the same consideration for other human beings. Why do we waste our money, so much money on people in prison who've done very heinous things? We can take that money and use it to apply it to help people who are striving and having hardship, but they're trying to do the right things. So anyhow, I'll get off my soapbox. Wish you all the best out there. God bless. Good luck to you. Adios, and just food for thought. Anywhere you look in history, the people on the bottom of the rungs are the ones who get infected with all the diseases and the plagues and all that kind of stuff first. But I don't see no alarmism about all these people in these homeless encampments. And you know what? The left news ain't going to show, even the right-wing news does not show you the extent of these homeless encampments in all these cities. As drivers, we see them out here. And I'm telling you, there's more than you can believe out here in these cities. I mean, but you take an area like Los Angeles is so huge, they're not all in one spot. And you got to go, you got to go from LA all the way down San Diego, you'll find them. People living in RVs or in underpasses and stuff like that. I mean, it's all over Southern California. It's all over Northern California, too. So it's impossible to show you the entire scope in one sitting. But, I mean, if they wanted to, they could show you these encampments, the squalor that is all over the place. Why aren't they out there? You should see medical professionals and emergency services people going to some of these camps and stuff. And stopping the spread of this stuff. Because if it's going to spread through squalor like that. So, anyway, wish you all the best out there. God bless, and be careful. Stay healthy. Adios.